Have you ever tried to stay cool, but your body had other plans? Moments before a big presentation or a date or a difficult conversation, your thoughts might be calm, but suddenly, your heart races, your palms sweat, and your voice shakes. That's your body's secret alarm. It's your nervous system reacting to something it thinks is dangerous, even when your rational mind knows everything's fine. And here's the strange part. You can't fully control it. Not your sweat, not your fidgeting, not even the way your pupils dilate. In this video, let's explore how and why your body reveals things about you. There's a part of your nervous system that works entirely behind the scenes, and it's quietly shaping how you feel, how you react, and even how you speak. It's called the autonomic nervous system, and it's like an internal manager with two very different employees. The first is your sympathetic nervous system. It's your go-to during moments of stress. Think of it as the part of you that reacts, not the part that reasons. When you sense something threatening, even a raised voice or an awkward silence, it can click on in a flash. Suddenly your heart starts to race, your muscles tense, your breathing speeds up. Why? Because this system is preparing you to either fight, run, or freeze, just in case. Even if the danger is just a work email with the subject line, "Need to talk." The second system is the opposite. It's the parasympathetic nervous system, often called the rest and digest system. It's the calm after the storm, the deep breath you take after a stressful conversation, the moment when your hands stop shaking. While the first system is like an over-caffeinated security guard, the parasympathetic system is like a therapist whispering, "It's okay, you're safe now." These two sides are constantly switching roles, depending on what's happening around you and how your brain perceives that moment. What's important to know is, you don't control these systems consciously, not fully. So the next time your voice trembles, or your body starts sweating in a room where no one else is, know that this isn't weakness. It's your body trying to protect you. Your body reacts to feelings before you even understand them, and sometimes the reactions are a little strange. Like getting goosebumps, not from cold, but from a powerful moment, a song, a memory, a fear. Technically, it's a leftover survival reflex. Back when humans were covered in dense body hair, these little skin bumps helped your ancestors appear larger when frightened. Now, we barely have the fur, but the reflex is still hardwired in. You might hear a song that reminds you of something deep, and next thing you know, your arms bristle. Same with that feeling of butterflies in your stomach. That's your fight or flight system, because from your brain's point of view, there's no time to digest. You might need to run. Even a dry mouth before public speaking has a reason. Your body, sensing stress, reduces saliva production, because digestion isn't the priority. These symptoms feel inconvenient, or even embarrassing, but really, they're signals. Your body is saying, "I don't feel safe yet. I'm getting ready to act." The threat could be anything: being judged, being rejected, being vulnerable. But to your body, it all feels the same. And it reacts, fast, way before your conscious mind has caught up. Sometimes your body doesn't just panic, it shuts down completely. You've probably heard of someone fainting at the sight of blood. Seems dramatic, right? But it's not weakness. It's a deeply wired reflex known as the vasovagal response. Here's what happens. Your brain perceives something as a threat. Maybe it's the idea of injury, pain, or intense emotional stress. Your sympathetic nervous system kicks in first. Heart rate increases, blood pressure rises. Your body's preparing to act fast. But then, suddenly, almost like a system overload, your parasympathetic system slams the brakes too hard. Blood pressure plummets. Oxygen to the brain drops, and everything fades. Your body has quite literally said, "This is too much, I'm tapping out." It's strange, but it makes evolutionary sense. Some researchers believe that fainting may have been a survival mechanism, a way to make an injured human appear dead and non-threatening to predators, or to minimize blood loss by lowering blood pressure. Whatever the origin, the result is the same. Your body overrides your conscious control, all in an effort to protect itself. Even when your rational mind says, "I'm okay," your body might. Emotions don't just live in your mind, they show up in your temperature. That burning sensation when you're embarrassed. The phrase, cold feet before something scary. These aren't just expressions. They're literal. Your emotions can subtly, and sometimes dramatically, change the flow of blood through your body. Scientists call this emotional thermoregulation, and it's where psychology meets biology. When you're angry, blood rushes to your face and your hands. Your cheeks feel warm, your fists clench. You're physically heating up, not just metaphorically. When you're afraid, it's the opposite. Blood stays close to vital organs and away from your hands and feet. So they feel cold, maybe even numb, because your body is preparing to run, dropping anything non-essential. Even sadness can cool the body. People grieving often describe a chill in their fingertips or a tight numbness in their chest. These aren't accidents. They're echoes of older survival systems. Emotions were never just feelings. They were preparations for action. And your body still acts accordingly. It warms parts of you when you need strength or confidence, and cools you down when it's trying to preserve energy or hide. You can try to hide how you feel. You can smile, stay calm, breathe slowly, but your body might still be glowing with rage or cold with fear. On a thermal camera, you'd literally see love, anger, and fear, like heat maps of the heart. Your skin doesn't lie. It reacts, even when your words don't. Like a built-in mood ring. You can train your voice, choose your words, and control your face. Or at least, you think you can. Because sometimes, despite your best efforts, your emotions find a way to leak out. This is called emotional leakage, and it's what happens when there's a crack between how you feel and how you're trying to appear. Maybe you're smiling politely, but your eyebrow twitches ever so slightly. Maybe you say you're fine, but there's tension in your jaw, or your nostrils flare before the smile even arrives. These are called microexpressions, tiny, involuntary facial movements that happen in less than half a second. And even though most people don't consciously notice them, our brains often feel them. That's why you sometimes just know someone isn't telling the whole truth, even if they say all the right things. It's not mind reading, it's pattern reading. Your brain is picking up on the mismatch between words and expression. A genuine smile, what scientists call a Duchenne smile, activates tiny muscles around the eyes. A forced one often doesn't. The eyes stay still, and the smile feels hollow, like it's wearing a mask. And the harder someone tries to suppress real emotion, the more likely it is to slip through. Like trying to hold back a beach ball underwater. The pressure builds, and eventually something pops. It could be a flicker of anger in the eyes, a brief moment of disgust, a tension in the lips that wasn't there before. And it's not just the face. The body leaks too. You might maintain perfect eye contact, but your hands fidget in your lap, or your foot taps restlessly under the table while you try to stay still. These little betrayals aren't flaws. They're truths your body is trying to tell, in between your attempts to control the message. And whether someone consciously realizes it or not, they usually feel. Sometimes people say all the right things, but something feels off. Their words are calm, polite, maybe even enthusiastic, but their body tells a very different story. This is the disconnect between verbal and nonverbal communication, and our brains are surprisingly attuned to it. Imagine someone says, "I'm really happy for you," but their tone is flat, their smile is stiff, their arms are crossed, and they won't quite look you in the eye. Nothing in their body agrees with the message, and your brain knows it. Even if you don't know why you feel uncomfortable, you just do. That's because we don't just listen to people, we watch them. In fact, when verbal and nonverbal language conflict, people are far more likely to believe the body. You can rehearse what to say, but controlling your facial tension, posture, hands, and voice tone, all at the same time, is difficult to fake. Real emotion leaks out through the little things. Maybe your voice gets sharper when you're annoyed, or you're trying to seem calm, but your knee won't stop bouncing under the table. These cues aren't just background noise, they're reality checks, and our brains are constantly scanning for them, even when we don't realize it. That's why someone can say, "I'm fine," and we walk away thinking, "No, you're not." Your words might convince someone. The eyes are often called the window to the soul, and while that's poetic, it's also a little bit true. Your eyes reveal far more than you intend, not just through where you look, but how you look. Right now, as you read this or watch this video, your eyes don't move in a smooth line. They actually jump rapidly from one point to the next, tiny jerky movements called saccades. These happen automatically, several times a second, whether you're reading, in a conversation, or scanning a room. And when you feel strong emotion, fear, surprise, interest, your eyes reflect it before you've processed it. For example, someone shares shocking news with you. Your eyes might instinctively flick to their face for detail, or look away to give yourself space. Your brain is scanning for safety. Your body is navigating the moment, long before you formulate a reaction. There's also something called an anti-saccade, the effort to not look at something. Imagine being in an intense conversation and forcing yourself to maintain eye contact, even though every part of you is screaming to look away. When that happens, your eyes may twitch or jitter, a quiet battle between instinct and control. Sometimes, even when we stare directly at something, our eyes give us away. A quick glance to the exit, a flash of panic when someone asks a hard question, or a dart to someone else in the room you're emotionally drawn to. These are subtle but powerful. And while they're hard to notice consciously, our brains are always watching. Most of us aren't lying with our eyes. We're revealing what we haven't yet admitted to ourselves. We think of eye contact as control, but under the surface our attention, our emotion, is even when your face is still and your voice sounds calm, your body keeps talking. And some of the most honest things it says come through your hands. Some people gesture naturally when they speak. It's not random. It helps them think, helps words flow. In fact, studies show that when we're prevented from using hand gestures, our speech can actually become slower, less fluent. But beyond communication, your hands also signal something deeper: emotional state. The way you fidget, pick at your nails, rub your fingertips, crack your knuckles. These aren't just habits. They're quiet stress signals. And because we're often not aware of what our hands are doing, they end up revealing emotions we're trying to keep hidden. The same goes for posture. You can say you're relaxed, but your arms are folded tightly, your shoulders are stiff, you're angled slightly away. You can say you're bored, and without realizing it, you've leaned back, looked away, or disengaged entirely. The subtle changes in your body's position, the shifts, fidgets, taps, clenches, they form a kind of background soundtrack, a rhythm your body plays in moments of tension, excitement, discomfort, or doubt. And here's the thing: other people do pick up on it, even if they don't realize they are. That strange feeling you get when someone says the right words, but something about them doesn't land? It's often the body speaking a different language. You may silence your voice, you may rehearse your words, but the body, it tends to tell. So what does all of this mean? It means that your body is constantly speaking, even when you're silent, even when you think you're in control. The sweat, the shivers, the tapping fingers and darting eyes. These aren't malfunctions. They're messages. Your body is reacting to the world in real time, not with words, but with movement, with temperature, with expression. And sometimes those reactions come before your conscious mind even knows what you're feeling. Scared, stressed, unsure, even in love. Your body quietly tells the truth. It protects you. It prepares you. And when you learn to listen, it teaches you too. Sometimes the key to understanding what you're feeling isn't in your thoughts. It's in your hands, in your heartbeat, in how your eyes desperately try not to look at something. Most of us are trying to seem okay, but our bodies are busy showing the full story. The question is, are you willing to notice it? Because once you start seeing it, in yourself and in others, you can't unsee it. And that kind of awareness,